Hi everybody, it's Dr. Lisa. One of my favorite things to do is ask people what questions they have about their health or misinformation, things they heard and they're not sure if they're true.
Let me ask you this.
So I asked a bunch of college students to tell me some of those questions, and I've got 3 pages worth right here. So let's answer some of these questions. Is it true you can get hemorrhoids from sitting on the ground? I actually had not heard this question before. And no, it's not true you can get hemorrhoids from sitting on the ground. Hemorrhoids usually come from having too much pressure in your belly. Can you get sex disease from a toilet seat? First of all, I have no idea what sex disease is, but maybe it's syphilis? This is a really common question. There are some things you might get on your skin from sitting on the toilet, but it's not syphilis. Can you walk without your big toe or your baby toe? Yeah, you can. You have to practice and learn, get your body used to walking without your big toe. Your big toe is actually really important for stability, but it's possible. Can you get HIV from kissing? This is actually a really common question. But no, you can't get HIV from kissing because there's no HIV virus in saliva, only the antibody. So if you get HIV from kissing, it's because the person you were kissing has bloody gums. And who wants to kiss someone with bloody gums? If you have bronchitis, can you pass it to someone else? This question is asking if bronchitis is contagious. And no, it's not. That's because bronchitis is not so much an infection as it is swelling inside your airway. So no, you can't pass bronchitis to someone else. Can you die from a cold? This is a great question, and actually no one's ever asked me this before.
First time ever.
We don't think of colds as killing people, but there's always a first time for everything. So the best thing you can do is wash your hands so that we're not spreading colds and viruses to other people who might die from a cold. When you have a nosebleed, is it good to hold your head back? This question comes from mothers and grandmothers. More importantly, the question is, why is your nose bleeding? There are only a few things that cause nosebleeds, but figure out why you have a nosebleed. Where do boils come from? Whew, this is a good question. So boils have been around since the beginning of man. All a boil is pus that comes from bacteria. We have bacteria on our skin, and sometimes maybe you have a little bit of a cut, and then sometimes they just magically appear. And the best thing to do for a boil is just wait for it to go away. Okay, this question is really funny. Looking up at the light before you sneeze will keep you from sneezing. I wish I had to sneeze because I want to test this one out. I actually don't know the answer to this question. Okay. Peeing outside makes a sty on your eye. Now, I'm a big believer that most misinformation comes from a kernel of truth that over time gets distorted into misinformation. That is hilarious. Okay, we're in the home stretch here. Earwax can diagnose a sexually transmitted infection. So apparently, if you put the earwax on your genitals and it stings, you have an STD. I don't know where this comes from, but I'm an infectious diseases doctor, and that's not how we diagnose STDs or a sexually transmitted infection. Hey, editor, can you give me a big red X on the screen for this question, or maybe a loud, obnoxious buzzer sound? Is dizziness closely associated with high blood pressure and diabetes? This is an excellent question because the answer is yes. And for a variety of reasons, when you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure, it upsets the balance of fluid in your body. Lots of things get thrown off that can ultimately make you dizzy. So that's a great question. Can earwax treat a cold sore? No. Where is this stuff coming from? Once cancer is in your body, is it always there, even if you're in remission? Well, the definition of remission means the cancer is gone. Or in some cases, it could be sleeping, but for most people, it means the cancer is gone. But it's really important if you have a cancer diagnosis to stay on top of it, follow up with your doctor, get testing periodically to figure out what's happening with your body and if there's something to do before it progresses too far. If you you put onions in your socks, will it draw out a fever? I've heard this question a couple times before, and guess what? I hardly ever get sick, but a few years ago, I got a fever, and instead of taking ibuprofen, I put onions in my socks. And you know what happened? When I woke up in the morning, they were cooked, and I didn't have a fever. So there's something here. I don't know all the science behind why onions are eliminating or reducing fever, but I do know that onions reduce inflammation in the body, and so there has to be some connection. Are you curious about this, or have you heard other things that cure fever, colds, infections? Leave a comment below, let us know so that we can explore that in our next video. Or you can just text it to me on my phone. I'm Dr. Lisa with Grapevine Health, where we focus on health with humanity.